I've been a fan of Steven Universe for a while now. I've known about the show's existence since day one, but I wouldn't really have called myself a fan of it until the movie. My feelings on the movie are complicated. I know it's not the greatest movie ever made. I know it's probably not even a great movie, but I still really like it, like a lot, and I don't know why. It has so many good ideas that were executed poorly, but the good ideas that were executed well really stuck with me. They inspired me creatively. I might talk about the movie sometime in the future, but for now, we're talking about future. More specifically, Steven Universe Future. Where do I begin with this? Probably at its announcement. After In My Eyes, the amazing movie, I was hyped for this show because it was exactly what I wanted, a continuation of the movie. That's a big indicator if I know I like something. If after watching it, I just want more, instead of being unsatisfied. And I was definitely satisfied with the movie. So since this show was basically just a continuation, there was nothing not to be excited about. And once it finally came out, I was blown away! If I had to summarize why I like the movie so much, Spinel. The movie had a world-ending threat and it was very engaging. So where do we go after saving the world? Oh, how about doing absolutely nothing for 3/4 of the final season and then shoving in the stupid plot at the very freaking end? Oh, calm down, Gavin. You're overreacting. Okay, fine. Let's go see how well they built up the plot throughout the final season of this show. Alright, so the first episode starts out giving us some exposition, which is fine, whatever, I don't care. I mean, everybody already knows, but you know what? Who cares? Alright, so the first half of the episode is pretty freaking boring, not gonna lie. Once Steven heads over to Jasper, then it feels like there's actually a plot. Steven reveals a new power that literally comes out of nowhere, but you know what? Whatever, I'm not gonna question it. And the episode ends. So, that was fine. I mean, it wasn't amazing, but I was still optimistic about the future of this show. Then, episode 2. Where something does indeed happen. It's just the problem is that it's really freaking boring. The whole episode is just, hey guys, try new things. Hey man, I don't think this is a good idea. Shut up, Amethyst. Oh my gosh, it wasn't a good idea. I gotta fix this. I fixed it. The end. The next episode is where Steven meets people that look just like his dead mom, which is fine, it's interesting, but it has nothing to do with the overarching plot. What is the overarching plot, you may ask? Well, at this point in the show, I genuinely had no idea because there was no overarching plot. Maybe the overarching plot is right about to show up. The next episode gives us a new antagonist, made up of old characters, and lets us know that there are people that still hate Steven. So there we go, we have a plot and some antagonists that we never see again. Why? This whole episode was a waste of time. This whole show is a waste of time. Okay, the next episode is called A Very Special Episode. This is it. This is where the plot starts. Everything starts now. This is my least favorite episode in the entire series. It is so boring. Nothing happens at all. It is the definition of a filler episode. A filler episode in the final season. Why would you waste time in the final season? Okay, the next episode is another filler episode, but the conflict of the episode is that Steven has grown up, he has matured, he has his own stuff going on, his own life, and the gems are stuck in the past and need to accept him for who he is now because he has grown and he has a neck. The next episode is such a waste of time, I don't even want to talk about it. All it is just two Lapises still destroying planets because they feel like it. Steven tells them to stop. They say no. He says, but nature is cool. They say no. Lapis beats them up. By the way, it's very hard to tell characters apart when every character with the same gem has the exact same name. Anyway, one of the Lapises shows up at the end of the episode and says that she'll be good now. I don't think she ever shows up again. I might be wrong, but I don't care enough to check. The next episode is Little Graduation. This is where it finally starts. This is where the overarching plot finally starts. It comes out of literally nowhere. Steven is upset because his friends are moving on without him and they have their own lives and he's not a part of them. Wow, you poor thing. Remember when I said Steven had his own life and was mature? Because the episode clearly showed us that? Well, now that he is no longer working at the school, his life is now meaningless. Are you freaking kidding me? Whatever, the next episode is about...
Is this my dream from last night? Whoa, what? My power's supposed to be interfering with the TV signal.
That literally makes no sense whatsoever, but okay. This is a filler episode, and the only thing that happens because of it is like 3 lines of dialogue in the finale. We're 11 episodes in, by the way, and almost absolutely nothing has happened. What are you doing? The next episode tells us literally nothing, except that Steven doesn't feel useless anymore when he's with Connie. Oh dear lord, this is gonna go horribly wrong. Oh, I forgot to mention episode 10, by the way, but I don't care because literally nothing happens. Okay, so Steven feels better when he's with Connie. Okay, so how do you think this is gonna go? He proposes to Connie. I'm sorry, what? It wasn't even confirmed that they were dating before. Why would you? But she takes it in the best possible way she could.
Is it a no?
It's a not now, Steven.
Huh. That actually went pretty well. So I guess he's really not gonna take it that hard.
She said no.
No, she didn't. Okay, cool. Steven's like ultra depressed now. Also, this episode ends so abruptly, I thought it was a mistake.
Well, maybe shoving this adorable cake in my face will make me feel better.
It really won't.
I'm doing it anyway.
I know.
I swear to God, who approved that? That was awful. Okay, so because of this, he keeps getting like PTSD flashbacks of what happened, which is fine, except his body freaking does this for some reason, and whenever this happens, it instantly removes all tension that was previously there, because it just looks so stupid that it is impossible to take seriously. Okay, so Steve and Connie go to the hospital, and the doctor tells him
Amount of stress.
okay, so Steven actually has PTSD from all the weird crap that happens to him. That's actually a really good idea. I like that a lot, and I think that's actually a really good premise. It's just too bad that it's literally never brought up again. What is wrong with you? Okay, so Steven and his dad go talk it out, and the episode ends. And of course, like any real person, his problems just don't magically go away. So to help him find a purpose, him and his dad, Steven and Greg, go out and see the world. But during this, Steven and his dad have an argument where he says,
I never went to school. I'd never been to the doctor until 2 days ago.
Steven, you're a gem. You're not like other kids.
I could have done all that stuff. My problem isn't that I'm a gem. My problem is I'm a universe!
and then proceeds to almost kill his dad, you know, just like every other teenager does at some point. Man, but what he said was pretty serious. I wonder how his dad's gonna respond.
Look, I'm proud of you.
What?
You know, I never had the guts to tell my old man off like that. I'm glad you can tell me anything.
So you're not gonna, like, talk about it? Like, at all? Are you kidding me? After he literally blames you for ruining his life and then almost kills you, all you have to say is,
I'm proud of you. You know you can tell me anything, right? You're having a hard time right now. I get it. We'll get the van fixed up. We can head back home. We'll get you some more ice cream. How does that sound? Hey, we can have ice cream for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and
my theory for this, Becca Sugar is secretly a monkey. She doesn't know how real people are supposed to act because she is a monkey. I rest my case. In the next episode, Steven turns to the only person he thinks he can, Jasper, and they start training. Okay, that's fine. And they train and they train and they train, and oh my gosh, Steven looks different. Has he been with her for years? Oh my, that's actually really interesting. I wonder what's happened to him and how he's grown as a character from being with her for years. He looks like he's almost an adult. Wow, that time skip was really brave and interesting. You know what? I'm sorry for all the things I said. Maybe you're not that bad after all.
Yes!
Not bad for 3 days of work.
I'm sorry. What? You can't. What? You can't do that! After their training, Steven and Jasper fight again, and Steven goes Super Saiyan God times 1,000 mode. And,
You're
Steven?
right, Jasper.
Steven, what are you doing? Steven, no, please, no. Steven, come on, man, you're better than this. Steven, no.
I have
Don't
been
do it, man.
holding back.
No, it's not worth it. No! He shattered her. Shattering has always been treated as this action that has consequences. It's something that you can't go back on. Once someone is shattered, they're gone forever. And Steven did it. He took the life of another. He shattered someone, and there's no going back.
Please.
Alright, never mind. She comes back and has a newfound respect for him because he beat her in a fight. Okay, so just remember, kids, your actions don't have consequences even when you murder someone. Just remember. Okay, the best part about this is that Buff Steven was like, growing a beard. Because, he's been out there for a while, and he's an adult now for some stupid freaking reason, whatever. But once he shatters Jasper, he runs back home scared, terrified. Nothing is more important than trying to fix what he did. Except on the way, he's gotta shave, because after you murder someone, don't forget to shave, because that's more important. Oh my God, why did he shave? Oh my God! Okay, so whatever. Steven comes out, the gems are worried, he pushes them away, and he goes to the only people that can help him now, the diamonds. This episode, single-handedly, is what caused me to make this video. There is something in this episode that I find so offensive that I just had to talk about it. Ever since Steven Universe Future was announced, I was hoping that Spinel would make an appearance. She was my favorite character, and I wanted to see how she had grown after the events of the movie. And once Steven gets to Homeworld...
Diamond. Now, if you'll follow me this way to the gift shop.
Oh my God!
Steven!
What the frick is that? You'd think the original artists of Spinel would be able to draw Spinel and make it look good. Not a single frame in this entire movie looked bad. How do 90% of her frames in this one episode look bad? Come on, guys, her design is so good. But Hydra Shot, that was a movie. Their budget is way lower on this. You think they'd be able to animate like that in a TV show? Yeah, I don't expect them to animate like this again, but that doesn't mean they shouldn't be able to draw her the same. I swear to God. And it's not only the way she's drawn. Even if she was drawn like this, I would still be happy. I would still be happy that my favorite character came back. But the problem is that Spinel is a completely different character now. Are you kidding me? You made her! She started out as a silly cartoon character who was unaware of how she made other people feel, but then when she was traumatized by being abandoned for 6,000 years and realized how cruel the world really was, she went to Earth knowing that it wouldn't fix anything, knowing that the one she wanted to take her anger out on was gone, but she didn't care. All Steven saw was this murderous psychopath that wanted to kill him, but once he hit her with the rejuvenator and set her back to how she used to be, she was annoying, over the top, and was silly and goofy all the time, and didn't have any other emotions besides that. But that was the point. Once Steven tried to leave her and go look for Amethyst himself, she snapped at him, which surprised Steven because he didn't think she was capable of other emotions. And even when Spinel went back to normal, and Steven convinced her to be his friend, she never went back to normal, even at the end of the movie, when all the conflict had been resolved. What happened to her was a part of who she was now, and it was going to take a lot of time to help her, but she was never going to go back to how she was. She even commented on how she used to be.
This is pretty twisted, but I'm a little flattered that you liked the old me. Innocent, loving, stupid.
Because she realized how everyone saw her, and because people only saw her as those things, when she realized she was naive and was treated like an idiot, and in return, she treated everyone else like an idiot. So because of this, it would not make sense for her to return to how she previously was, especially since not enough time has passed for her to recover 6,000 years worth of damage. She went through something, and Steven helped her through it, and now it was her turn to help Steven, because Steven was going through something, and Steven even asks her,
Wait a second. You used to have vengeful thoughts. How did you make them stop?
And Spinel would have been able to help Steven, especially since she has gotten better. She's been with people who give her the attention she never had, that try to understand her. And now, she has reverted back to her old self. Except, as expected, she's different. For the most part, she's her old self again. She's naive, unaware, annoying, and now she acts like she's on drugs. And her design hasn't changed, so it doesn't reflect her personality at all. So when Steven asks her, she says,
You used to have vengeful thoughts.
Oh yeah, but I don't get them anymore.
How did you make them stop?
I met a little someone named Steven Universe, and he told me I can make a change.
Spinel, you can clearly see he's not joking around. Like he said, you went through a similar experience, so help him instead of being the kind of person that you mocked months ago. She's so annoying and it just serves as comic relief and doesn't add anything to the plot, when she could have added everything to the plot. They knew bringing back Spinel would get a huge reaction from people because she was a fan favorite character. So wouldn't it make sense to have her character actually matter in the story? Apparently not. Just have Steven go, "You guys can't help me," and then run away again. Also, one inconsistency about her design is in the intro she doesn't have her tear streaks, but in the actual episode she appears in, she does. Explain that. I mean, I'm happy that they're still there. I think she looks stupid without them. It was just an inconsistency I found, so, you know. So cool. My favorite character was reduced to nothing more than comic relief, her younger self on drugs, and Sonic the Hedgehog. I'm so happy. In the next episode, Steven goes in denial and pretends like everything is fine when it obviously, so painfully obviously isn't. And nobody does anything about it. Awesome. I love bad writing. After Steven over and over again tries to help people and then ruins everything, he finally confesses everything and tells everyone what's going on.
I can fix anything. I can just keep messing up and fixing things forever, and you'll never have to know or think about any of it. How messed up is that? You think I'm so great and I'm so mature and I always know what to do, but that's not true. I haven't learned a thing from my problems. They've all just made me worse.
Wait, what happened to having PTSD from all the traumatic events you've been through? Apparently now it's that you haven't learned from your mistakes? Okay. What happened to your dad not giving you a normal life even though he could have? And you weren't given a childhood just like everyone else? Nah, never mind. Even though Steven just told me that I ruined his life to my face. Okay, so I guess we're just sticking with he hasn't learned from his mistakes when everyone thinks he has. And all this brilliantly paced buildup all culminates to...
I'm a fraud. I'm a fraud. I'm a monster!
Hello? Where did everyone go? Is that how it ends? Is that really how you're gonna end the episode? Who edited this crap? Okay, so the next episode, Steven's already transformed into giant corrupt dragon Steven, and... It's so bad, guys. It's so freaking bad. Everyone basically just goes, "Who is that? What is that thing? It's Steven. No way." And then everyone goes, "I'm sorry, Steven. This is all my fault." Oh my God, shut up.
This is my
Just shut
fault.
up. Just shut up. And I feel like Rebecca knew that everyone was pissed off that White Diamond got redeemed for murdering millions and ruining the lives of anyone she didn't murder. So she says,
"And if Pink hurt you, it was because I hurt her. Like I hurt Yellow and Blue and Steven and everyone in the entire universe. This is all my fault."
wow, what an apology. I guess it's okay that you murdered millions because you feel bad.
This is all my fault.
Yes, it is!
Yeah, you tell her.
Yes, you hurt him, but this isn't the time to make this all about you.
Well, I mean, it kind of is, seeing as how there's not going to be time later, you know, since this is the finale. Man, I guess all this wasted time is backfiring. Maybe you shouldn't have spent the last episodes of the show singing about cleaning your room and playing freaking tag. Okay, so Steven is corrupt. What's the worst way they could solve this problem? Ooh, I know. A freaking group hug! Are you serious? Hey kids, if you're struggling to find a purpose in life, have PTSD, and were never given a childhood, don't worry, because all your problems can be solved with a freaking group hug. Are you serious? So they all hug Steven, and he starts crying, even though White Diamond looked into his thoughts and said,
What happened? Oh, that's not Steven anymore.
Despite this, corrupt Steven starts crying, and it's the stupidest thing I've ever seen in my entire life, and then he turns back to normal. That entire plot, all that build-up, and it was solved in 10 minutes. What the actual are you kidding me? I'm done. I can't anymore. I don't even have anything left to say about this. This is just so unbelievably stupid that I can't anymore. I'm done. Okay, so the final episode of Steven Universe Future, of Steven Universe, starts out with a time skip, and Steven is all better. We spent all this time seeing Steven get worse and worse, and we don't even get to see it get resolved. You're such a good writer. Okay, so in the final episode, Steven decides that he wants to move out of the house and tells the Gems. They are nothing but supportive for him and his decision, and he is upset that they do not feel sad that he is leaving. Steven even says,
I told the Gems I'm leaving, but I don't think they're even sad about it. I guess I wanted them to be at least a little upset. Is that petty?
You're allowed to have feelings, even petty ones.
Yes, children, you're allowed to be petty. Okay, so Steven is sad. He then goes to Lapis, Bismuth, and Peridot, gives them all gifts, and they are incredibly sad that he is leaving. This makes him even more upset that Garnet, Amethyst, and Pearl are not sad that he is leaving. Please don't tell me this is the entire episode. It's the entire episode. He tries to get them to feel bad. They don't. He feels worse. What are you doing? This is the final episode. Why are you wasting time on the final episode? This does not need to happen. Jasper shows up. She wants to come with Steven. He says no. She leaves. She hasn't changed from her very first appearance. This was her last appearance. She has not grown at all as a character. Steven then says goodbye to his family. Garnet, Amethyst, and Pearl still aren't sad that he is leaving. He leaves. He then turns around and asks why they aren't sad. They burst into tears and say that they didn't want their tears to hold him back from leaving. This is a waste of time. They all hug and cry, and then Steven says goodbye, and the show ends. Oh, and Spinel's last appearance? She doesn't appear. Her crying and being annoying was her last appearance. Cool. Steven Universe Future was a disappointment. It was bad. For most of it, I thought it was just going to be them messing around for the entire season. They only messed around for most of the entire season, and then rushed the plot at the very end. They should have just ended it at the movie. The movie was a good ending. It was satisfying, and it left me wanting more, which is way better than leaving me unsatisfied. Even when Steven Universe was bad, it still had great music. Steven Universe Future didn't even have one of the only redeeming qualities about the show. It's amazing music. The music in this show is just so freaking bad.
Stick by stick, the little blackbird builds a nest.
What happened? What happened here? Steven Universe Future does nothing to improve on the movie. It does nothing to advance the plot of the movie. It just makes Steven a bad character. It makes Spinel a bad character. It makes everyone a bad character. The decline of Steven Universe is sad because it had so much potential, and when they actually used some of that potential in the movie, it gave me false hope that the next season would have been good. Steven Universe has so many flaws that I don't even care to mention because it doesn't matter to me. I could have talked about the lazy animation, the terrible voice acting, the atrocious continuity errors, but that doesn't matter to me. What matters to me is that a good idea, a great idea, was executed so poorly, and now it's nothing but wasted potential. This was my Steven Universe Future rant. This has been Hydro Shot, and thank you for watching. Now I'm gonna go Hydro shoot myself in the head.